Some people want something to go up every single day, every single week. Up, up, up. It's not going up. No! It's like, yo, just chill. Chill.
So Roaring Kitty says, chill, relax. You can't expect it to only go up. Yesterday, I did a video simply titled Not Over, and I'm going to take you guys into GME, AMC, FFIE, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly where I think the price is going to come back to. And I'm just going to tell you that this is going to play out in waves, because at the moment that it gets all the way to a point where everybody thinks it's over and they're declaring victory and it was just a flash in the pan, that's when wave two begins. And that's exactly the message you're getting from Rory Kitty. And I think that there is a plan in place, and I think there's going to be waves to that. It does appear to me that this particular move might not be as strong as the last move, truly taking some big players off guard. There just wasn't as many people that were in such a high risk position, or they already began to see the upturn and got out before it took off. Now, that's all speculation. And the fact is, this is all speculation. This is an absolutely wild moment in the markets. I gave the commentary yesterday that the last time we were at market all-time high was back in 2021. Bitcoin was making a new high. The meme stocks came out of nowhere. And I think that we're in a similar position. I've been predicting that the S&P 500 would get to around 5,500, maybe 5,600, in that range, and that would perhaps be the end. We see Bitcoin coming back to life after a pretty strong pullback. I believe that it's possible for us to push above 74K in the next 30 days, and we've got the meme stocks back at it again. I don't think the whole thing is over in 24 hours. I think it's going to continue. But the big question is where to get in. Now, I've done a couple of alerts in the Discord, and I've made some comments on this page. You do not want to buy the big green candles. And that became extremely relevant when we were looking at Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, ticker FFIE. Now, this one is an amazing story, FFIE. If you had put in $1,000 before this thing took off, and I don't know why you would have, because the stock price was down in the gutter, dying a slow death. This has only got a sympathy bump because of what's going on with the meme stocks and the overly shorted stocks. Now, this thing went from the low depths of around 4 cents all the way up to $4, and it actually had a near 10,000% rise, which simply means in dollars and cents, if you had the foreknowledge to put $1,000 in before it began, that would have been $100,000 in the course of 4 days. Well, today it collapsed, and you could have guessed it because it is following GME, which is AMC is following GME, and now you've got FFIE following the two of them. And if they had collapsed already, you could expect that once this thing collapsed, it was going to pull back hard. In the Discord, I mentioned that the 98-cent range was a super critical point for FFIE. It came all the way back to that, and it bounced, which is a signal that you want to respect these trend lines. And some people will say, well, Josh, this is a movement. This is a squeeze. You can't look at the technicals. And I'm going to tell you that you absolutely can. If you look at FFIE, it went up to structural resistance and it stopped. Structural resistance was between $3 and $4, right? The next structural resistance above $4 is all the way up at $10. Where did it stop? It stopped at structural resistance. Where did it come back to? Where I told you the party began, which is above $1, above 98 cents. And so you absolutely can use the charts to trade this crazy meme movement that's happening right now. As I led off with, Roaring Kitty is leading the way, and his video was to chill. And I'm going to leave you guys with that same thought. GME, AMC, they've got some room to come back. Chill, but I still don't think it's over. I'm going to take you really quickly into all three of those charts, and I'm going to tell you what price points I would suggest there might be a turnaround in. I'm going to start with GME. We're going to take a run back in time to look at the last move, and then it's going to give us some clues as to what the price point might be for this move. Let's check out that chart. All right, guys, here is the last GME breakout back in 2021. And the main point I want to make to you guys is that the starting point was the breakout right here. And after it pushed up, before it continued higher, it came all the way back down to the exact same spot that it had broken out from. At that time, that was $10. And the next wave was not as strong as the previous wave. And so that's the first thing that I want to draw to you guys' attention. Let's go now to the chart that we're currently at. It very much does appear already as if we're going to come all the way back to the place where this began before going higher. We are pretty much very close to it right now. We came all the way down today to around $19. And, could there be a reversal right here? Absolutely. If you wanted to play it super safe, you wait until it gets all the way back to the $18 range before you take a risk position. Let's take a quick look at AMC. AMC, very similarly, this thing took off from the $3.50 range. And so if this is going to continue to bleed off, the more it bleeds off, the more people will begin to have less fear about taking this to the short side. And so that's why I think that Roaring Kitty is telling you to chill, because there's going to come a perfect moment to re-catch the bears after this pump. By the time we get all the way back to 350, everybody will be declaring this move dead. And this would be the perfect spot right where it took off to begin with. This would be the perfect spot for a second wave. Now, at the moment, it appears if this does come back to this point, then it would appear that we're in the full second wave, which means that this was as much as we were going to see on AMC in the first wave, which means that the second wave may only get to this $7.30 range to this $9 range. And I can already hear a bunch of people making comments that are critical, saying, Josh, you don't get it. This is a movement. This thing is going to the moon. And I would just tell you, no, I don't get that. It's not a movement. I'm not even convinced at who truly is behind this and who's pulling all the levers. I have more questions than I have answers on the meme stock move. I know that Roaring Kitty has brought it back to life. I think that I'm not doubting his involvement. I think his involvement is pure. I think that he identified yet again a moment in time in which it had become overly shorted, and he seized on the opportunity. It came all the way back in price to where it had begun the last time, which was $10. And then it got pushed higher. So I think that it's reasonable to say chill. I think it's reasonable to say not over. I think the questions on the table is, when is the exact reversal spot? And if we go by the last push, it was the exact breakout spot. That's where it popped again. And so the safest entry for any of these meme stocks, if you are wild enough to get on the back of the bucking bull, right, and to go along with Roaring Kitty, then it's going to be right where they began. For GME, it's going to be, in my mind, between $15 and $18. That's kind of the zone I see. For AMC, it appears to be around $3.50. And as I've said, a little bit harder for me to call FFIE. I just simply know that at the moment, the 98-cent range is holding up. But if it were to be exactly similar and everything were to pull back to a place that would look more similar to where it began, the FFIE could go all the way back to around 20 cents. I'm not making any buy predictions at that point. I am going to dabble in the second wave once we get back to the price points on GME and AMC that I just gave you. But this is not an investment. It's a pure speculative play because these are not profitable companies. They have incredible debt and the PE ratio is through the roof, making NVIDIA and legitimate growth companies blush because it's just too damn high. Those are my thoughts on the meme stocks today. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for joining me. We're going into the weekend. I put some great posts in the Discord, which is the Stock Squad Patreon with myself, Keenan Grace, StockMo, and Stock Up with Larry Jones. I've been giving some guidance there about reacting to these meme stocks. If you want to join that, I'll leave a link in the top pinned comment. I also am going to tell you what I think if you missed all these plays. You're like, Josh, I missed them. Would have been great to have gotten in to FFIE at 4 cents and wrote it up, near 10,000%. Sure, I would have loved to have done that, but it's really not my cup of tea. But on top of it, I missed it. I don't know if it's over. I don't know if Roaring Kitty is right to say chill. So if none of that's for you, I've got a play you might be interested in. And this is going to be Hood, Robinhood, ticker HOOD. Now, these guys are the true winners of the resurgence of the meme stock, as well as the fact that Bitcoin and the altcoins have been running, right? Because these guys are the ones who are essentially selling the shovels. They're handling the transactions for the speculators who are pursuing that meme stock gold. Hood is going to come out a winner. And why are they a winner? They're a publicly traded company, and we're going to simply have an increase in revenue because of this meme stock move and it drawing retail back into the speculation of the stock market and pulling people in. Now, I heard an interesting comment on CNBC that I just wanted to mention here, which is that even though consumer sentiment has been dropping, and we recently had a consumer sentiment report that showed a lot of negativity that's referred to as a leading indicator of the fact that people might be tightening their belt. The fact is the meme stock rally, as well as the sticky inflation, is indicating that even though people are bearish on the economy, they're still willing to speculate. They're still willing to throw thousands of dollars at a meme stock. And so they may not be as hard off as they are concerned about their pocketbook and concerned about digesting the ever-increasing rising costs of food, gas, and housing. And so it's a commentary that even though the sentiment is bad, the fact is we are still dealing with a somewhat strong economy. And the fact that we've had a resurgence of the meme stocks, the fact that Roaring Kitty has roared again, is proof that the economy isn't as weak as people are concerned that it is. So the question is, how long is it going to last? It's going to last a little while. I don't think it's over. And I think that one of the winners out of all of that is going to be Robinhood. So let me just take you into that chart. But before I do, let me take a very quick station break for MOOMOO. They're also an exchange, but they've got better trade tools and better information and better technicals, especially for people that are on the go and are trading on their mobile app. If you have a Robinhood account, I would suggest to you that MOOMOO is a great retail platform. If you open and fund an account right now, using my link, they're going to give you up to 10 fractional shares of the Magnificent Seven. And if you want to be speculative in your Robinhood account and blow it up chasing after FFIE, then you could actually do some long-term fractional share investing in your MOOMOO account. But you do you. It's not a suggestion for what you should buy, sell, or hold. I'm just providing some insight in what I see in the charts along the way. All right, let's check out that Hood chart and see what it's saying. All right, the first thing I want to point out to you guys is that Hood is basically has gone up around 22% in just this last week alone. So that's an incredible green candlestick. If you guys are following and learning on this page, what am I going to do? I'm going to go look for a parallel channel, and I'm going to see what type of parallel channel we have. Oh, look at that. It's a descending parallel channel. I say it all the time. They're bullish. They break to the upside. What did this channel do? Man, it descended and it broke to the upside. Now, last week, it actually had a fake out move to the upside, came back within the channel. This week, it looks like a pretty strong move. We've moved outside the channel. I'm going to say that we are at a very interesting moment in time. So what is the line in the sand? For those who follow me, they know that the line in the sand is extremely important. And it basically is a trend line that if we open and close above, it means we are going higher. Well, the line in the sand for Hood right now is $20.60. Well, the next question is, where is support? Well, largely I see support for Hood at $18, okay? And so if you wanted to be conservative, you could get a little Hood on the pullback to around $18. There's no guarantee exactly where it will pull back, especially when we got a big, strong candle like this. But if you wanted to break up your buy orders, you could put it in around 18. Now, you could consider putting a stop loss beneath that, under 18 to protect your capital. So I'm going to say in simple terms, it's rocket ships above 2060 and it's protect your capital largely beneath $17 to $18, somewhere in that range. Where will it initially go? Well, let's go back to that big picture view. We have forming the potential of a giant cup and handle, and the top of the trend line or the top of the cup could actually be all the way back up to $35 to $37. And we see this pattern change here of it moving sideways for quite a while. That's consolidation. That's the time to get in. We got this breakout move. Now we've come back and we're breaking out again. Personally, if the crypto and the meme stock rally continues, then I think this is absolutely going to be a $35 stock over the course of the next 45 days, maybe 2 months. So my very next video is going to be on crypto because crypto did what I said it would do yesterday. I said we're going to pull back to 64K, its support, and then we're going to get another strong green candle, and that's exactly what we got. And what has it done? It's pumped up the alts that I talked with you guys about. I gave trade alerts on Ondo. That's up 25% from the trade alert that I gave. I talked about Solana. Me and Tim last week, Technical Tuesdays, talked about Solana looking like it was ready for a breakout, and oh, has it broken out. Now, I've spent some time on those crypto charts, on that Bitcoin chart, on that Solana chart, and I have some interesting perspective to share with you on where I think we might be going, as well as some concerning limitations of your expectation, because I think some people are looking for a bigger move than perhaps they should just yet. Now I'm going to try to get a video out for you this weekend, and it's going to be a deeper dive of expectations on Bitcoin, Ondo, the meme coins, and Solana, because I think you're going to want to see that. So do not miss that video. Today I wanted to again focus on the meme stocks because it's absolutely crazy how many people are trading these meme stocks, and I wanted you to know that Roaring Kitty says chill, Josh says it's not over. But if it's going to duplicate what it did in the last cycle, it's going to come all the way down to where it broke out. This particular time on GME, it's kind of between, I would say largely it's right beneath 18. Could be even as low as 15, but it's right beneath that level. If we see it dip beneath there, and then we start seeing the candle push higher, then I would expect a move at bare minimum on GME back to 40 bucks. FFIE is a little bit more, too much of the wild, wild west for me. If you weren't in it, then consider playing Hood. AMC, a little bit more up my alley because it tends to move after GME, and the moves are a little bit more predictable for me. But the worst case scenario there would be to move all the way back to $3.50 and then to go higher from there. So, you know, some of you are going to say, but Josh, I listened to this other YouTuber and he said it's going to $100. This time it's going to break out. It's going to go to $1,000. That's fine. That's fine. You do you, right? What you're going to find on this page is realistic explanations of what I see in the chart. I don't dislike these stocks. I don't like these stocks. I like the charts, and the charts have told me what I've shared with you today. This is what I've been able to gather in the short amount of time that I was able to bring you my thoughts from yesterday to today. I appreciate all the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the hearts and the comments. I appreciate that as well. And I want you to hit that subscribe so you can get the next prediction, especially that crypto video. I think it's going to be super important to help you gauge where to take profit. If you want more alt coverage, you can find me over in the Discord, the Stock Squad Discord. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Peace and blessings. Take care.